Welcome, everyone. We are live. It is Thursday, our second double shift day. I trust that all is well and that you slept well. If not, it's okay. It's all right. Just start again, right? Nothing escapes the law. It says every cause has its effect, every effect its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. The Kabbalion. Cause and effect. You see, we don't see it. Some people say, oh, it's karma. Karma's going to get you. But it's actually cause and effect. Because if you think about it, you look out into the world and people ask the question, why do evil people get through and the good don't? Because they don't have the same mindset. You see, for every show that I've seen, and you know I love a good movie, Optimus Prime, Arrow, all of them, they self-deprecate. Oh, it is my fault. It is this, it is that. That's what they say. I'm like, dude, you are the hero. Why is it that you feel as if you can't do something or that everything is your fault? What is it with this guilt trip? I don't get it. And it literally makes me see, right? I get so mad when I see it and I hear it, right? Cause and effect. It's Megatron doesn't think that he's a bad guy. Man, he runs with that. He owns it. He stands 10 toes down. He says it with his whole chest. Optimus makes a mistake. He's talking about this is my fault. I'm like, shut your mouth. So when we hear that saying in the world that the good people are whatever they are and they never really succeeded, it's better to not be the good guy because good guys finish last. What nonsense is that? It is your mindset. Because if you look out there, I could call names of who we perceive to be evil. I could call names, but I won't. You know exactly what names I would say because it is humanity's perception of what evil is. And when we say the devil, right? But every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. It just does. Oh, why did that happen to that person? Oh, why did that happen? They're such a good person. Why did it happen to them? You do not know the cause. You cannot see the cause, but you can be sure of one thing. If there is an effect, there is a cause. You understand? So when we look at things, when it says nothing escapes the law, what that means is you do something, you're accountable. And not accountable as that word, when people throw that word around. Oh, you got to be accountable for you, blah, blah, right? They're not talking about that word accountability. We're talking about the action, which is to know that what you are doing is an effect and it brings about, it has its own cause. So that when you look at something, let's go back to our thoughts. Thoughts are effects, they are not causes. Thoughts arise Because thoughts follow the mental attitude. Remember, the mental attitude is invisible, yes? But in order to see the mental attitude, you have to act. The action is the effect. You will only ever act according to whatever that mental attitude is. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. You see, it's just like in medicine. In Western medicine, remember, there's no dogging medicine. These are observations. If you go and you say, well, I have a headache, I've had it for 2 months, right? They look to treat the headache. The headache is an effect. You must find the cause. See, that's the beauty of cause and effect. When you see the effect, you trace that, you will find the cause. You will always find the root. Yes, you can. And if you know the cause, you can predict the effect. Well, how so? And it's not predict as in crystal ball predict. It is predict as in to see the outcome. We have many interesting sayings in the world. Live by the sword, you die by the sword. Right? We hear these things, but we don't understand that they are because of. So you're going through your life today, and you want to know why you do something. What you are doing is an effect. Your actions are effects. So what are you doing? Look at it. When you see the effect, you will recognize the cause. So that you will see at all times what level of mental attitude you're acting from. You understand? You know what level in your life you're acting from. You'll know what mental attitude you're acting from. Because you can see the effect it is having. Just look at it. How does it make you feel? Well, then the root cause is there. The root cause is there. So when we say things like, well, I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't know. If you take a moment, you will know. So that when you recognize your effects, your actions, your behaviors, pardon me, if you recognize those things, you'll begin to see the cause of them. You'll begin to see the cause of your behavior. Remember what Dr. Bruce Lipton says. He says that we live 95% on autopilot, meaning we're just doing it, but we don't understand why. So the key is to employ the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation, which means you always know. You always know where you are. You always know what you're doing, and you always know that you're the one doing it. It is your existence, your awareness of your existence. This is where it all begins. The awareness of your existence. So now that you're aware of your existence, well, what are you aware of? Then that's the thing you will do. As within, so without. As above, so below. You'll know it. You will know. You give tribute, boy, right? You'll know. So whatever that thing is you're dealing with in your life, you know how we say, oh, I gotta figure out what my problem is. I gotta heal my inner child. I gotta have a dark night of the soul. No, you just have to pay attention. What are your actions? They are your effects. And the intensity with which you do those things will tell you the outcome, the intensity of the outcome, because rhythm always compensates. How do I mean? Go back to that thing, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? Yeah, that's usually the root of fear. Oh, why would you have a sword in the first place? See, we say things, but we don't understand the underlying reasoning behind it, right? Lots of people don't know that they act from a place of guilt. Lots of people don't know that they behave from a place of shame because they're not paying attention. They just see the surface, but they don't go beyond the surface to comprehend. Look at your actions, and you will see what drives you, thereby becoming aware of the 95%. And that's why I don't like that saying that we only use 5% of our brain. If we were only using 5% of our brain, we'd be missing a lot of functions. We're using it all. The brain is functioning. What we're not doing is being deliberate, though. We're just doing autopilot. And the autopilot that humanity is normally doing is not the autopilot that they designed for themselves. This is why, when you look around you, if you pay attention, you will notice something. If you look at the media, you look at the news, if you participate in those things, they're trying to bring about something in you. Not trying, they do, don't they? They are causes. Neville Goddard actually said it really well when he said that the unwitting man falls under the power of the man who's deliberate. That's my paraphrase of it. That's what happens when you unwittingly walk through the world. The man who deliberately brings about his experiences will influence you. Well, how? Because he's the one walking in the fact that he is the cause. And so he behaves accordingly. If he's the cause, he knows that he can make anything happen. So then, how do you stop falling under the influence of another person's cause and effect? By observing. When you hear something, how do you respond? In which way are you polarized? Do you allow yourself to become polarized? Now, this is good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. The key is to observe when you are allowing yourself to become polarized by something other than you. This is all part of hypnosis as well. Giving a suggestion. You can give suggestions all day long, but if that thing is not within the person that you're giving that suggestion to, you can't make them bend to your will because it's not within them. So they do not accept the suggestion. Cause and effect. This is also along the lines When we judge, when we say, oh, this person's manipulative, oh, this person is a narcissist, oh, this person is that. When we judge another by their actions, by their effects, we will fail to see the cause. And if we fail to see the cause, we dehumanize them. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, this person's a jerk. Well, then how are you going to treat a jerk? That's right. Somebody gonna catch these hands. That's how you'll treat them, based upon your judgment of the effects in their lives. But what you do not see is what caused them to become this way. Angela, I don't care what caused them to become that way. They're grown. They can make better choices. Really? We make choices from previous experience, good, bad, or indifferent. So if your previous experience is not all that beautiful, if you've been hurt a lot, you will make your decisions from that place. Especially if you continually walk in the hurt and do not resolve it. Well, how does one resolve the hurt and the trauma? Do tell. By recognizing that the person who hurt you is an effect. Something caused them to become the way that they did. Oh, indeed. None of us are immune to it. None of us are immune to it. It would be like the vigilante pursuing what he thinks is good, right? But at some point, if he's not careful, he becomes the evil he's trying to fight. Because he's clouded by judgment. He's clouded by the judgment of his own experiences. This is why he's a vigilante in the first place. There's guilt. There is guilt. Look at them. So that's what I'm saying to you. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. So if you pay attention to what is happening in your life, and you do not judge it, what do I mean when I say don't judge? Oh my God, I totally deserve that. What? Are you crazy? You do not deserve to suffer. Suffering is not a badge of honor. It is vile. Because look at what it makes us into when we suffer. And not only does it do something to the psyche, your awareness of yourself, it also shows itself in the body physically. Because all things manifest. Right? So examine the effects in your life, which are the behaviors. Examine them. What do I mean by examine? Look at them. What are you doing? How does it make you feel when you do it? You see, there's that word spite. A lot of people are spiteful and they don't, it's not that they don't know that they're spiteful. It's just cleverly disguised. Well, you don't know what I've been through. Maybe if you went through it too, you would understand. Now, first of all, if you know that what you're going through is horrible, why would you wish it on another? It doesn't feel good to you. Do you think it'd feel good to them? This is why Neville, you gotta love him. I love the way he taught the law. Because we all know it as the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We know that. We know that one because we've said it our whole lives. However, do we always? Why not? Because whatever that thing is, that mental mood, that mental attitude that you are acting from is what causes you to do what you do. It's like little kids when they do something and you get mad the first time. Tell me the truth. Why would they tell you the truth? Look at how you are asking them to tell you the truth. You're making them afraid. And nobody wants to be punished. So what happens? They will answer you the way you want to be answered to protect themselves from the repercussions. Is the child a liar? No. See, this is, if we would observe, we would see. If you do not create a space where someone could tell you, even Thoth says it. Thoth says if someone doesn't share with you, it's not them, it is you who has not made a place in yourself that is quote unquote safe for them to share. Why not? Because of your mental attitude, wherever you're coming from. Whatever that place is that you are coming from is why you act in the way that you do. Right? Look at it. If you say, man, I've been lied to so many times, I can spot a lie from a mile away. Of course you can. Well, as within, so without. Because why can you spot a liar? Chances are you were lied to. Listen, nobody deliberately becomes a liar. They're molded and shaped into one. Well, let me give you an example. Avoiding paying taxes. Well, first of all, we know that they're illegal. Income taxes, we know this. We know it. But we comply. We do it, don't we? We hand over our paychecks. Ow. We do. But then look at the person who has learned to funnel their money in an offshore account. Look at what they've become. So, Angela, you're saying I should just let them take it? I'm saying examine. It's the whole premise behind how the United States was conceived. They did not want to pay tax to the king. So the only way to avoid paying tax to the king was to become a non-entity, a non-human. You cannot tax something that is not human. Thereby, a corporation isn't human, so you can't tax it. So now, we all live under this system of this avoidance. Instead of standing up, we acquiesce. Why? Because of the fear of retribution. The fear of punishment is why we behave in the way that we do. Cause and effect. So every time you do that one thing, you bring about a certain effect, which will generate another cause that matches. And because we do not see that cause, because over time, causes become buried where we just see the effects now. We don't even see the cause anymore. And we think that it doesn't exist anymore because we don't see it. But if you look at the effects, people say, but crime is so high. You ever seen the musical Les Miserables? I think that's the one where they stole a loaf of bread. Why would you have to steal a loaf of bread? Is the person a thief, or the conditions that brought about the thievery is the problem? This is what I mean when I say when we judge, we miss things. Cause and effect is everywhere. You drive on gravel too fast, you lose control of the car. And if you're not a professional rally driver, you can't control the skid. What? Cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. It is what allows movement to happen. The principle of vibration tells us that everything moves, nothing stands still. So that's why every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause, because it is movement. So look at your life. What are you doing? That is an effect. What is causing you to behave that way? And if you are honest with yourself, you would recognize, oh my God, that's why I'm doing this. And then you'll see where you are. And when you see where you are, because now you've decided you don't want to be in that anymore, you don't want to live under that cause anymore, you want to change the effect. And because you recognize that you want to change the effect and you identify what you want that new effect to be, well, every effect has its cause. So when you pay attention, you say, you know what? I see that cause. I see what's driving me to do that. I see my insecurity. What would I be doing if I wasn't insecure? Well, what are you doing now? You're not sure of yourself. That's what you're doing. And when you're not sure of yourself, you don't normally speak up. You know, you feel a little bit ashamed in a way. But what if they laugh at me? See that? That insecurity right there? You know you don't want that. So if you don't want to be insecure, what do you want to be? Secure. What are the behaviors of security? Confidence. Walking into a space and knowing yourself. Not concerned with the opinions of another. Because when you're overly concerned with the opinions of another, that is a sign of the insecurity. And you don't want to be insecure. So if you don't want to be insecure, you want to be secure. But what are the traits? What are the effects of security? They are behaviors. What are they? For you, because you're the one who sees your insecurity. So now what would your security look like? What would you be doing in reality if you were secure? Look at how insecurity makes you feel. And you will act from that place, that feeling of insecurity. So you see how it makes you feel? And you know you don't want to feel that. So now, when you begin to see the effects of having security, of being secure, not having, but being secure, when you see those effects, those behaviors, they're going to make you feel a particular way as well. Well, that's how you'll know that you've moved from insecurity to security, by the way it feels in your bosom. And so then you begin to experience in imagination what you'd be doing in reality if you were secure. What would you be doing if you were a secure human being? Secure in yourself, not concerned with the opinions of others about who they think you are. How can they possibly think they know who you are when they do not know what molded and shaped you? They're just judging you based upon who they are. See? So that's why you always look to that effect. What would I be doing? That is an effect. And when you decide and you recognize what you would be doing, well, then the cause emerges from there. You don't have to bring about the cause. The cause is already predetermined by the effect that you choose. Oh, the cause is already predetermined by the effect that you choose. So if I sit down as what are they going to do today, Pinky? What are you going to do today, Brain? Same thing we try to do every day, Pinky. Take over the world. Pinky and the Brain. So what do? What are the effects of trying to conquer somebody, trying to conquer something? What are those effects? Fear. Look around you, and you will see that there are always effects being projected outward into the world. But if you are deliberate and you bring about that choice for the type of effect you want to have, well, then you're so focused on that, you've now risen above somebody else's cause because you can see right through it. When you hear a particular type of newscast or you see a particular thing on your feed, you look at it and go, oh, you're trying to get a rise out of somebody today. Exactly. You see the effect that it's having. All you got to do is see it. So to change your life today, my beautiful friends, because I'm over time, to change your life using the principle of cause and effect, if that's the one that stands out to you the most, mind you, well, there's only one. Mentalism. That's the only one there is. It's the only one. But the others show you how it works. Yeah? How the self works. So if you want to change your life using the principle of cause and effect, start with your behavior. Your behavior is an effect. And when you look at the effect and you comprehend what you're doing, you'll begin to see what causes you to do it. You'll begin to see what causes you to do it. Like the martyr. The martyr just wants to be liked. More times than not, the martyr just wants to be liked. So they do things. There's a saying, cut your nose to spoil your features. Yeah? Don't cut your nose to spoil your features. Look at where that's coming from. It says to you, you want to be accepted so badly that you're willing to do something that is harmful to you so that you can be liked. Oh, incoming, incoming. No, I thought I heard my roo getting ready to crow. But you see what happens? I did hear him. I did. Oh, you can't doubt yourselves, y'all. I was like, no, I didn't hear it. I'm like, wait, but I did. Good morning, handsome. So if you want to change your life, look at the effects, look at the behaviors. Don't judge them, just look at them and go, wait. That's what I'm doing? I'm compromising who I am so I could be liked? Wait a minute. If somebody doesn't like you, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. If I don't like the color chartreuse, it's because Ew, it's yucky. Like when I see those cars that are mustard green, or I'm like, ugh, what would possess you to buy that color? It's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly to me and my preferences. It has no bearing on the person who's driving it and their tastes. So for the person who doesn't like you, how is that your problem? But you know what we do? We go out there and we pick it up and go, oh my God, they don't like me. And because, hello, here's that word, because you don't like yourself. Oh, my father says that a lot. He says, if you watch somebody and they don't like a lot of people, they're real mean and things. It's like they don't like themselves. There's something going on inside of them that makes them behave that way. That's right. Their behavior is an effect. You don't know the cause because you have not lived their life. So that's why the opinion of another, and you know how we cleverly disguise it? We cleverly disguise it as constructive criticism. Do you know what the word criticize means? Hmm. Well, let's find out, shall we? Because then you'll begin to understand something. I'm actually looking it up. Indicate the faults of someone or something in a disapproving way. Indicate the faults of someone. The faults, faults. The fault. If you see fault and blame go together. You're looking at my faults? How do you know what my faults are? Hmm. Hmm. And we hear that phrase, you're your own worst critic. Yet we cleverly disguise constructive criticism as something good. It is a judgment. Based upon who? The observer. So why are they judging? What is the cause of their judgment? Perhaps they were judged a lot. Oh, you're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. Then that's all they see. They see faults within themselves. And because they're seeing faults, because they're seeing problems, they will see problems everywhere else, which then in turn causes the listener to judge themselves. Oh my God, is that really my problem? That's a whole nother day. But step one, if you want to change your life using the principle of cause and effect, observe your behavior. Your behaviors are effects. And if you look at them without judgment, you will see the cause of that behavior. And it is usually something you've already experienced that causes you to behave in such a fashion. You understand? So once you acknowledge that, whatever that thing is in your life that you're doing, that effect, and you say, well, I don't want to do that anymore. Yes, that's nice. Define what you want to do instead. You cannot have a void. There aren't any voids to be had. Well, how do you know there's no voids? Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. If you see an effect, there was a cause. There's a term in Western medicine called idiopathic. They do not know the origin. That's what it means. We don't know why it's there. We just know that it's there. If you can see an effect, There is a cause. So there's no void. As within, so without. Polarity, moving from to. Moving from where you are towards where you're going. There is no void anywhere. There's no emptiness anywhere. It is all full. So today, whatever you think your problem is, there is a solution. What is the solution? The observation of the problem will tell you what the solution is, because the solution is in every problem. You cannot have a problem without a solution. Hello. The problem is an effect, and every effect has a cause. So if you're looking at the problem, define what the problem is. And from the definition of the problem, you will see the solution. The problem is hunger. The solution is to eat. Well, hunger is a gnawing of the stomach, right? You can hear it, rah, 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 your stomach is growling. So to stop that growl, you have to satiate the hunger. So where is it in your life that you think that problem is so overwhelming, so overbearing, so soul crushing? Where is it? Define, look at it. Don't run away from it. You can run, but you can't hide. How you gonna run from yourself? You just define it. Look at it. And when you see what it is, some people like to write things down because they see better when they write. I talk things through. Clearly, I talk a lot. That's why we're over time this morning, because somebody's just yattering away. But you have your own nuance. Some people paint, some people draw to get clarity. So, what do you do that will help you to see the effects of that thing in your life? You write it down, you say, well, look, here's my problem. I do this, 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 and this, and this. Okay, so on the other side of the paper, and that's why you get two sheets. And now when you do two sheets of paper, you are invoking the principle of polarity. Hello. You're looking at where you are. Where you are. You got to move. So where do you want to move to? And that's where you write on the other side of the paper. So if you say insecure with dot, 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 you want to be secure in dot, dot, dot. If you say, oh, but I'm scared, well, then you're looking for courage, my friend. What are you scared of? Well, I'm scared of this. Well, then you begin to talk to yourself. Well, is that really rational? It's okay to be afraid. Which one of us isn't? But you remember the principle of correspondence. As within, so without. You live with fear on the inside. You will act from a place of fear. Fear will trigger violence faster than you can say tickety boo. Why? Because you don't want to be harmed, so you harm first. It's called fear, my friends. So, cause and effect. Use your nuance, which would be your things that you do. If you like to write, if you journal so that you can see better, don't just verbally vomit all over the paper and complain about your life. No, you write in point form. Why? So you can see exactly what the problem is. And then on that other sheet of paper, there's your solution now. You just cross reference the two. And when you're done and you have your solutions, now you begin to experience in imagination what you'd be doing if you were living out those solutions. Remember, if you were living out those behaviors of the new you, you see them in your mind's eye and you feel it in your bosom, because that's how you will know. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it heart-brain coherence, where what you want to become and the feeling of it are the same. They don't contradict one another. That's how you know that you're on the right track. That's how you are what? Confirming. Look at that word, confirm correspondence. Anyway, that's what you're doing. And you're seeing it in your mind's eye. And you're rehearsing it over and over again. Those new behaviors. And the more you practice them, the more familiar they become to you. Why? Because now you're forming a habit, a deliberate habit of that effect. You're being deliberate. And once you choose the effect, the cause is there. It is predetermined. The cause and effect are predetermined. The moment you choose, whatever you've chosen, is how you're going to behave. Until, of course, you make a different choice, thereby changing the behavior. So where does one always have to go? To the root cause, which is what? How you see yourself. Well, how you see, what your mental mood is, what your mental attitude is, how you see yourself is how you're going to behave. You cannot behave in another fashion, because that would be breaking law, and we cannot break law. You can try. Try it. Plant carrots, and when peas come in, let me know. If you don't plant peas, you can't reap them. It is the same thing with your mental attitude. If your mental attitude is this, well, whatever your mental attitude is, those are the experiences you will have. Cause and effect. So when Neville Goddard says you don't have to lift a finger to make it happen, he's not telling you that you just sit on the couch and eat bonbons and hope for your better life. That's not what he's telling you. He's saying to you, select the effect that you want to experience, because the effect will bring about the cause. Fastest way to ride in the back of a cop car, break the law. Fastest way, cause and effect. So, my beautiful friends, today, look at your life. Look at the effects, which is your behavior. Just look at it. What you doing? You like doing it? Well, if you like it, carry on. If you don't like it, then define what you want it to be. And once you define it, your actions will follow suit. Actions are effects. Effects will always follow its cause. So you see, you don't have to fret and worry. You don't have to hope. You have to know that what you say you are, that's all you will be. So choose wisely. Be deliberate in choosing the effect for your life. And with that, my friends, let's welcome everybody who's here. Twitter is tumbleweed Twitter today, but it's for the replay gang. Anod is in the house. Oh, my beautiful Liza. Oh, Cyber. Well, howdy, stranger. It sure has been a while, son. Oh, oh. He's like a little wind-up toy. Well, don't just keep it in. Let it out. He's too cute. Who's on fan base this morning with us? My sweet Miss McQueen. Oh, Casey, darling, I see you. Ew. Ray Ray is in the house. Creisha is in the house. Oh, no, you didn't. I was thinking of you the other day, but I got caught up and I didn't send a message because I was busy. I am that deal. Well, 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 if it isn't glorious to see you, it is. It sure is. A Big Mike is in the house. And we know Lil Bit's here. We know that Lil Bit is here. And we know that Biscuit is not. Oh, Biscuit. Biscuit is living it up with his big brother Popcorn and his daddy and his real mama. That's where he is. He's out on the farm with them. So I'll get a report as to how he did, how his second night was. But I do miss him. I miss his little kazoo noises. I do miss my baby Biscuit. Anywho, thank you all for being here on this glorious day. It is a glorious Thursday. It really is. It is. So, don't feel overwhelmed anymore by whatever you're going through. Understand that what you are going through is an effect. And every effect has its cause. If you want to change, define the new effect. The new effect has behaviors that goes along with it. Do the new. You cannot just do the new. My girl, she's so cute. I said to her, listen, before you roll your muscles out, apply warmth to them. Get the blood flowing in there so that when you start to roll them out, they're supple and they move beautifully. She goes, yeah, I did that for 2 nights and it didn't really work. I said, you did it for 2 nights? I said, girl, this is a lifestyle. It's not 2 nights. It's not 2 nights. Nobody smokes a pack of cigarettes a day with just 2 nights. It takes dedication. It takes practice and forming that into a habit. If you make heat your habit, especially in our climate, yikes, you'll see a big difference. You won't be as tight anymore in your muscles. That's what we do. We say, yeah, but I tried. You what now? You tried? No, we don't try. We create a lifestyle. Hello? And the way to create a lifestyle is how? Doing the same thing the same way every time. Good, bad, or indifferent. We're just habitual. So if you know that you're habitual and you cannot escape habits, then the solution is to make a habit that is desirable to you that will bring about your success. Aren't there so many books written about that? The 5 habits of successful people. The 5 what? It's their lifestyle. I feel like Robin Leach. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. How do you know they're rich and famous? Their behavior. Behaviors are effects. Decide what effect you want in your life, and the cause is there. And you'll do it. You'll be compelled to do it. I know compel means to force, like to make somebody do something. But that's what habits do. They make you act in the way that you have chosen. Don't hate your habit. Recognize that it is an effect that comprises of behaviors. So if you don't want to do those behaviors, define the behaviors you actually want to do and start to do them. Same way every time. And now it will become your lifestyle. Oh, look, and you changed. And people say, oh, you can't teach a no dog new tricks. Well, you're not a dog. You're not an old dog. Old dog in this case means old mental attitude. If you refuse to let go of the old mental attitude, how can you do something new? Anyway, I said what I said, and you know that I love you, and I always think of you. I truly do. Day in and day out, I do. I really do. So, anywho, go forth today and know it is an effect. And if you don't like that one, choose another effect and do it, and you will change your life. You don't have to hope for a better life. You don't have to wish for a better life. You don't even have to dance naked in the moonlight for a better life. Mind you, you can dance naked in the moonlight if you want to dance naked in the moonlight, if you like that sort of thing. But remember where the power is. You. So what does it say? Every cause has its effect. Every effect its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. The Kabbalion. Much love to each and every one of you, my beautiful friends. Much love. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will see you again right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, fan base, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You girls got to go feed them chickens and get on the road, okay? Work beckons. And I do love what I do. And I love the people I work with. Yes, I do. I just like to have a good time. And we always have a good time at work. I think we have a barbecue this weekend. I don't know why, but we're having a barbecue this weekend, this Friday, right after, like, just before work ends. That's what we're having. So I'm looking forward to that. I am. Anywho, you know, you can always slide into my DMs, y'all, if you have questions. And I'll be here. Not because I know everything. I don't know anything. I just know the law. I don't know nothing else. I just know the law, okay? Peace out.